Hi there, this is Russ from the Zeppelin Success Crew. In this video we're going to have a look at inspecting a screen and specifically taking a look at components that have been set up with variants. Now I'm working on an iOS project here and I have a screen that I've been designing, and I'm going to look at the button that appears in the center of this screen. If I select that button, you will know that it's a component on your style guide based on the blue tag that appears just at the top of that component. You can still link through to the component in your style guide as before, only this time we have a new indicator that this has been set up with variants, which you can see on the right hand side of this blue tag. Alternatively, on the right hand side in the information panel, you'll see additional information which indicates that it is a component with variants. It still has the original information about the name, and you can link through to that component in the style guide. But underneath that we also have additional properties which have been defined in the style guide, and in this case we are looking at a button which is a primary variant and is a default state. Now there's a few ways in which I can show even more information about all of the different variants for this component. I can click on the variant icon that appears either in the right hand information panel or in the blue tag above the component. Or alternatively, I can use a keyboard shortcut, which is the letter V, to open up a variant pop-up. And in so doing, it will show you the variant which you have selected on the screen. And I can inspect this just in the same way as I would be able to in my screen. I can link through to the component, but I can also cycle through the different variants, again either by selecting the drop down which appears at the bottom or by using the keyboard shortcut V. And as I select the V key on my keyboard, it will cycle through all of the different variants of this component. Now what I'm going to do is also use another state of this button to communicate to the developer that's working on this that I also want him to be aware that there are variants. You'll notice on the right hand side that we have a small link icon. So by clicking that, it will copy to my clipboard a direct link to this component of this variant type which is disabled. And perhaps what I want to do is indicate that whilst this screen is loading, whilst the information is loading, I want the component to be replaced rather than the default component. I want to have this disabled component. So I'm going to go and add a comment here and say use, and instead of typing out which component I want, I'm going to paste in the link to that particular component variant. So I'm going to say use this component when the screen information is loading. And when I post that, you'll notice that the link is converted into the name of the component with its variant properties, and that becomes a hyperlink. So whoever is reading this can click on that and see in this pop-up exactly what I'm referring to. So we can access that information either via the link or via the variants which appear in the information or the component.